Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia, aka Star Philly, in case you are here for the first time. If you are, welcome and thank you for stopping by. Y'all gonna have to bear with me in this video because it is very early in the morning. I'm still sleepy. I haven't had any coffee yet, but I'm trying to get in the habit of filming like maybe 2 videos a week in the mornings before I go to work. So this is my first stab at doing that in quite some time. But in today's video, I want to show y'all how I came up with this very simple eye makeup for work. It is very easy to do. I only use 3 different shades to do this in addition to my brow bone highlights. I think it's nice and noticeable, but it's also very subtle, and I think it's very work appropriate for people who work in an office setting. So I decided to use something different from my project pan items that I've been using lately. So I'm going to show y'all how I came up with it. I hope you like it, and let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so I already have my base makeup on. I usually don't wear a full face of makeup to work, so I do have a good amount of under eye concealer on because I need it this morning. And I also have a little bit of foundation on my cheeks and around my mouth, and then I set my face. I don't go through like bronzer and all of that for work, but I will be putting on like blush and highlighter, but I don't have on foundation all over my face. So I have my eyebrows done, so we're gonna start off with priming the eyes, and I'm gonna be using the Makeup Revolution concealer. This one is in the shade C11. Normally when I do eyeshadow, I like to use 2 different concealers, a lighter one on the lid and then a darker one close to my brow bone. But for days like today, when I'm going to work, I usually just use 1 concealer because I don't need my eyeshadow to look all fancy for today. And also I'm usually rushing out of the house anyway, so I'm using 1 concealer to save a little bit of time. So I'm just putting this all over my lid. And then I'm just gonna smooth it out. Okay, for today's look, we're using the ABH Soft Glam palette. And I'm gonna start off with the shade Dusty Rose. And I'm going to tap that all over my lid, and I'm using the M167 brush. So this particular shade, it is kind of like a muted shade. So it's not going to be like very, very pigmented on my eye, but I think it'll be noticeable, and that's the type of shade that I want, because I just don't want something that's like super pigmented, super, I guess, noticeable. I just want something, you know, nice and subtle, just to give my eyes like a nice flush of color for today. These particular shadows, I think that they're very like soft and powdery. So every time I pick up more shadow on the brush, I make sure that I tap off all of the excess so that I don't get a whole lot of fallout on my face. And I also want to make sure that the shadow is like laying nice and flat on my lid. Next, I'm going to take the shade Rustic, and I'm going to pat that on the outer part of my lid, right on top of that purple. I put the purple shade all over the lid because I feel like when I go in to put this brown on the outer part, it'll help the 2 blend together. And I don't want this to end up being like a really like super smoky eye for today. I want it to be nice and subtle, so I just want this to be just a little bit darker than that purple. And then I'm just going to very lightly brush that brown back into my crease area. Now I'm picking up my N506, a small blending brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Burnt Orange. I'm not going to pick up a whole lot of this at all on the brush. I just want to use this color to buff out the look on the top, but I actually don't want this color to show up very much at all because it is quite orange. So I'm not really using it to add an orange color into the look per se. I'm really just using it to like buff out the look. but I don't want to use that same color Rustic because I feel like using a slightly different color will help like add dimension to that crease area. So I'm just buffing this out all at the top, and I am gonna buff it out like right on the edges where the orange and the brown shade meets. All right, next I'm gonna go in with the shade Glistening, and I'm gonna use that to highlight my inner corner. This color here can be like kind of pigmented, so I might end up applying a little bit more than I want to, but we'll see. I tapped off as much excess as I could, and I'm making sure that I'm blending this shade back into the purple that's on my lid. I just like for my inner corner color and my lid color to like blend into one another. So that's not that bad. This is actually giving me like sunset vibes, and that really wasn't my intent, but these colors together are giving me like that theme on my eyes, which I actually like. Okay, I went ahead and put on some blush and some highlighter, and what I'm gonna do is, this is the PUR Sculptor Palette. I'm gonna take this light gold shade up here, and I'm gonna use that to put a subtle highlight on my brow bone, but I'm gonna use this big brush, and I know this looks like kind of big to put a color right there. I'm using this brush because this is a duo fiber brush. I want my highlight to kind of like, my brow bone highlight, I want it to kind of trickle down onto the shadow a little bit and have like a little, I guess, cascading effect going on up there, because I think it just looks a bit more blended and a bit more natural than having just like a straight line of highlight there. So that's why I'm using this big brush, so that it can kind of like disperse that highlight in a bigger area around my brow bone. I'm gonna put my my eyeliner and mascara on off camera, the same two products I use all the time, my Lancome mascara and my NYX matte liner. I'm gonna put these on, then I'm gonna come back and show y'all what lipstick I'm gonna pair with the eyeshadow for today. Okay, so this is my completed eye look. When I do my eyeshadow for work, I usually, well, I never put eyeshadow on my lower lash line because I just feel like it looks more of like a daytime look when I don't put anything down there. So this is the completed look. I just wanted to show y'all what lipstick I'm gonna pair with it. I'm gonna be wearing Maybelline's Toasted Truffle. That's what this looks like. I recently did a Maybelline swatch, a lipstick swatch video, so I'll link that in my description bar. But this is one of the colors that I put on, and I really didn't want to take it off because I liked it so much. So I'm going to be putting this one on for today. Okay, I think this is a very like simple, subtle nude lip color that pretty much goes with everything. So this is my completed look. I really hope you like the way that it came out, and I hope you agree that it is a very easy eyeshadow look to put together. So if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I really hope that I will see y'all back for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.